All right, hello. Welcome, one and all, to your episode of Model Monday Live. Today is Monday, February 24th, 2025. I can't believe we're this deep into 2025 already. How is the time going by so fast? It's hard to believe, but it just means we're hustling. It just means we are keeping the hustle on, and that's what it's all about. Let us know in the chat, where are you watching from, and what are you doing to keep that hustle going every day? You guys thought this was a CAD, 3D CAD live stream. This is going to be all about motivation and hustle and speed modeling. What's up to Ricardo Jean, our very first commenter in the chat today. Congratulations. Says, let's go runners. FPV Kev is here. Hello, my friend. Welcome. Says, just a few more minutes to go. Yes. And Lucas B is here. Says, hello, guys. Greets from Warsaw, Poland. Hello, my friend. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Jim Yu is here. Hello. Kegel is here. Welcome. Thanks for joining us again. Great to see you in here. Chris Knudsen, old friend of the show. Hello, my old friend. Welcome. And Ricardo Jean says, yes, begin. Aaron C is here in the chat, ready to defend his ongoing streak of point after point after point in these Model Monday Live challenges. Mesa Makes is here, says, yes, we are flying through the year. Ricardo Jean is from Italy. Thank you for joining us. And Kama Vade is here. Hello. Hi, Toby. Yes, hello. Jim Yu is in Oslo this week. Yo, let's go. Oslo in the summertime. It's one of my favorite songs of Montreal. I know I mentioned that before, but I just mention it every time I hear Oslo. Certain things stick in your memory. Pico Boo is here. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Mason Makes from La Grande, California. Well, I'm making awards for our next contest on Saturday. Yo, let's go. Davenport, Florida, Chris Knudsen. Nice. Like it. Just working on designing some more fixtures today. Good. Some Destaco clamps, hopefully. That's what we like to see in our fixtures. Ricardo Jean says, I'm noticing we have a new material. Yeah, we do have a new material, red oak. A little spoiler, we might see some red oak today. Get those materials ready. Kama is from Norway. Nice. When's the next tournament? Yes, that's a great question. That's something that I think we need to get on the calendar ASAP, but probably early summer. That's what we're thinking. Let's see here. Kegel says, hi, Peekaboo. Gerardo is here. Hello from Argentina. Nice. My one roommate is a huge fan of Messi, so great to see you in here. I'm sure there's other things that happen in Argentina, but that's definitely one of the ones that made it all the way up here to Pennsylvania. I want to do Mortal CAD Combat. Yes. Winner has to not be alive anymore. Oh, no, loser, I mean. I like that. High stakes. All right. And Kama is an onshape user. Nice. Pico Boo says Mortal CAD Bat. And Rambro's Workshop is here in the chat. Our world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling using Fusion 360. Nice. All right, well, listen, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us today. It's great to see everybody. It's great to be here on this beautiful Monday. Let's get into it. I know why we're here. We are here for some CAD versus CAD battle action. So let's go. Yup, that's me is in the chat. Competing for pink slips to your GPU. Yo, that would be fun. Put up your GPU. Fastest one wins, takes it home. I like that. I like that a lot. We're going to do 2 speed modeling challenges today in this beautiful episode of CAD vs. CAD Speed Modeling Model Monday Live. We're going to do some updates on the world of TooTallToby, and we're going to do a really fun live solve using Onshape, and of course, interact with the best chat ever. The reason this live solve is so fun is really because of all of you. The reason this chat is so fun is because of all of you. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to the channel, everybody who has donated through Super Thanks. Super Thanks is open if you want to make a Super Thanks donation, if you like what we're doing here on the channel. Thank you to everyone who's joined the channel as a member. Thank you to all the likers. Thank you to all the tutorial makers, the super chatters, the value for value people, the Practice Models Premium users and subscribers, all the students out there, all the sharers, all the commenters, and of course the entire Discord crew. We do have a pretty epic crew over there on the Discord these days. So definitely thank you all so much to everyone who lands into one of these categories. Be sure to hit the like button on this video. And a special thank you to our friend Chris Bico, aka Fully Defined. He's been in the tournaments before, and he made this really nice video. I've included a link down below, just below this video, a link to the video he made called Why Speed Modeling Makes You a Better Designer. And it really does a nice job of capturing what we're trying to do with the channel and what we're trying to do with the website, with Practice Models app. And so huge shout out to Chris Bico for putting together that tutorial, that video. And it just came out awesome. So thank you, Chris. You're great. Another one of those members of the Discord crew. Rambros Workshop says, it's a gem. Yes, and Chris is a gem as well. And speaking of gems, thank you so much to Ricardo Jean. €5 coming through. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Very much appreciated. Like. Thank you. It says, wait, creating red oak in SolidWorks library. Yeah, we got to get that speed modeling material creation. That's what's up now. Speed modeling material creation. That could be the next competition. Guys, I'm going to do a really fun live solve today. I'm going to model up this part, the receiver. This is from the TooTallToby Practice Models library. It gives us a great chance in Onshape to talk about some advanced topics, not only like loft, obviously there's a loft in this model, or hopefully that's obvious that there's a loft in this model, but also things like layout sketches and plane creation. So we really get to do some cool stuff with this model. We will be doing this in the second half of the show, and this is a tier 6 model. So not too often we see tier 6 models here. This is going to be a fun one. Yup, that's me, says that one was a bear in FreeCAD. Yeah, I'm sure. Guys, don't forget, before we get started, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share and reshare. Anytime you see a video out there, like my video, or if you click in the description on Chris Bico's video, and then you can share that onto your network, it really helps us leverage network effect, which just means that if I know 2 of you and you know 2 more people, then it's kind of like I'm getting it out to 4 people instead of just 2. Really 6. So network effect is very powerful and definitely something we want to leverage. And the way we do that is by all of you sharing and resharing on your networks as well. All right, and let's get into it here. CAD versus CAD speed modeling for all of you in the chat. I'm going to show you a 2D drawing. I'm going to challenge you to turn this into a 3D model. Is anybody in the chat here for the first time? Let us know. Type in first timer in the chat. First time. And we'll make sure that we take care of everyone to answer any questions you have. But this challenge is going to be that I'm going to show you a 2D drawing, and I'm going to challenge you to turn it into a 3D model as quickly as you can. And then you are going to attempt to calculate the mass of this model, and you're going to try to enter that mass directly into the YouTube chat. So you just enter in the numbers, make sure you enter in with the correct precision. And I see Aaron C in the chat says he's been here at least 3 times. Okay, good. Well, welcome, Aaron C. Well, if you have any questions about how we're doing this, you just let us know. And the basic rules are that you are allowed to use any 3D CAD package out there. So as long as you can input the density and output the mass of the model, you're golden. Doesn't matter what CAD you're using, Fusion 360 or Onshape or SolveSpace. I saw a new one, SolveSpace out there. You could be using Tinkercad. You could be using SketchUp. As long as you can input density and output mass. And outputting mass, there's a lot of ways you could do that. If you can just get volume off of your model, then you can multiply it by the material density. So any 3D CAD package is welcome here. Some of our users even just use Calculator. So make sure you use the specified precision, and the first answer correct in the chat will be declared the winner. You can answer as many times as you want. Just whatever your final answer is, that's what we're taking. And here are the materials. If you're here for the first time or if you haven't been here in a while, make sure that you take a moment and capture these materials. Excuse me. And make sure that you do a screen capture. You can do print screen and grab a capture of these materials so you've got the correct material density. Okay, and the advanced rules are this is meant to be fun and good-spirited. I will make mistakes from time to time, and the Ivan exploit is permitted. And guys, we got some big news about the Ivan exploit video. I know you guys have been talking about how you've been asking about what is the Ivan exploit. Can you explain that in a video? And certainly in the past, we've talked about it a little bit. Basically, the Ivan exploit is if you've got a plate and that plate has a parallel wall on the top and on the bottom, and there's holes defined in the top of that plate, it doesn't really matter where you put those holes. So maybe if there's 4 holes that are defined here in the corners, and instead you just decide to go through and put all 4 holes right here, right in the middle, because it's easier, it's faster, whatever, you're removing the same amount of material. So that's basically the Ivan exploit. However, we've got an epic, almost a cinematic masterpiece, you might call it, that Aaron C. and I have been working on, and we made a true breakthrough last week and the week before, really over during the President's Day holiday, I guess you could say. Shout out to the President's Day holiday. So we made a true breakthrough on this video. So I think we're going to be seeing this video sometime, possibly in the next couple of 3 or 4 months, possibly. And that is the big update on the Ivan exploit video. So be on the lookout for that. Definitely coming soon, and something that we're really excited to share with everyone. So the Ivan exploit is permitted in these challenges. So just keep that in mind as you're going through and doing these challenges. All right, hopefully that answered any questions about the Ivan exploit. And here we go. We're going to flip over to full screen. As soon as I show the 2D print, you are going to begin modeling. This one is not going to be easy, I don't think. Maybe it will be, I don't know. It'll be possibly, maybe easy, maybe not. Here we go. This first challenge begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this assembly or multi-body part in XXXX pounds? The tolerance on this challenge is plus or minus 1 pound. And this challenge is called 25-02-18 TrainDriverRob. The material is various. You can see it in the table down in the lower left. The density is various. You can see it in the table down in the lower left. And so we can see here this assembly consists of 5 train track ties, railroad ties, and 2 segments of railroad. So good luck. Good luck. This one is a shout out, a tribute to one of our regulars on the show, TrainDriverRob. He recently became a member of the channel, and part of becoming a member means you get a custom TooTallToby practice models challenge created just for you. And this one is called TrainDriverRob. I'm very excited to hear Rob's feedback. There are quite a few different size rails. If you look up what are the dimensions of a rail, you'll be surprised by how much variance there is. So hopefully I got it at least semi-appropriate, matching the gauge and the tie size and the rail size. Guys, the view in the upper right has the fillets removed for clarity, but make sure that you include those fillets in your final model. Those fillets are shown in that detail view. And good luck. Good luck, one and all. This is kind of a cool model, kind of a cool challenge. The way that railroads are specified is through what's called gauge, which is the distance between the rails at the top. So it's not at the center, and it's not at the minimum distance at the bottom. It's like the minimum distance at the top, at that top flat spot. So it's kind of interesting how railroad dimensioning is done, that term gauge. Good luck, one and all, and I hope you guys enjoy this challenge. It's a fun one. Everybody's frantically modeling away here, so I'm going to move on. Hope you guys had a chance to grab a screen capture of that print, put it on your second monitor, and then you can work through it. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share, and reshare if you enjoy these kinds of challenges and competitions. The original... We'll start calling it the original speed modeling challenges, just in case anybody ever comes along, tries to do anything similar. I'm sure there's no major companies out there that would ever consider such a thing, coming along and trying to use the term speed modeling or anything like that. All right, guys, don't forget to share, reshare, like, and subscribe. And let's talk about what's going on this week in the world of TooTallToby. If you want to join the party, great way to support the channel is by signing up for Practice Models Premium, using Super Chat and Super Thanks, and of course, taking training with TooTallToby. This is a great way to support the channel, keep this train rolling for as long as we can. And what's going on in the world of TooTallToby? Well, one thing that's been going on is we've been doing podcasts. We've been connecting with podcasters. We've been working with podcasters, actually going on some podcasts. So we've finished the podcast with The Next Layer. That aired a couple of weeks ago. with Jonathan. It was awesome. A great discussion of 3D printing, 3D CAD, and how you can use the tools found at TooTallToby.com to practice your 3D CAD so you can actually leverage your 3D printer. I think we're entering into an age when people are going to be able to just get a 3D printer, take it out of the box, and start using it. The age of tinkering, I think, has gone past. Certainly, there's still some room for tinkering, but it's no longer a requirement. You know, in the old days, if you got a 3D printer and it jammed up, it meant you had to take apart the entire head. You had to replace the nozzle. You had to reassemble everything. You know, you were unplugging the power to the hot head. You had to reapply that power. There was a lot of tinkering that needed to be done to get everything to work right. And nowadays, it's really just like plug and play. It's like the filament literally has either a QR or an NFC on it, and it's able to tell the printer what the settings should be for that filament. So you receive the filament, you put it on the spool, and then the printer auto configures all the settings so that it uses the correct settings for that filament, which means you're not going to get as many jams. That's why I'm explaining it that way. It's one of the most common ways that you end up with a jam is you dial in the printer for one filament and then you change the filament and then it jams up because things aren't hot enough or they're too hot. So, you know, there's a lot of things that are being done to make sure that printers don't jam up anymore. And so that means that there's going to be more people who get 3D printers, and they're going to start going to websites and downloading existing models and printing them. And of course, they're going to eventually realize, like, this is okay, but it'd be nice if I could actually design things that I need, things that fit in my car, things that fit on my desk. And so how are they going to be able to do that? They're going to need to know how to use 3D CAD. So Jonathan and I had a great conversation about that. Same thing with Scott. I had a conversation with Scott at the Engineering Entrepreneur. This one has not yet been released, but we had a great conversation about similar topics about how to use CAD and speed modeling to really improve your skills so that you can use those skills and really get the most out of your 3D printer. So let me know in the chat if you're done modeling, what type of 3D printer do you have? Let me know. Kegel says the Quiddy Plus 4 is a great starter printer and has the capability to print most engineering filaments. Nice. I have not yet heard of that one. That is cool. Nice message there from Yup, That's Me. Says, just did a full clean out of my 3D printer filament path. Oh, blow it out your Bowden tube. Yeah, nice. 3D printing is why I have started learning CAD. Yes, exactly, Wind Farms. And so that's the cool thing is that if you can start using 3D CAD and start learning how to create things that can then be 3D printed, I think it just really helps to engage people, especially people who are newer to the world of 3D CAD and 3D printing. You know, you don't want them to have to sit through a 10-hour training class. It'd be nice if they could just sit down, do a 20-minute tutorial, and when they're done, they have something that they can actually print. And that's something that we've been really aggressively embracing at the TooTallToby practice models app, starting with that the guitar pick assembly that we did a few weeks ago for the premium users, and then moving into the soap dish. When we did the soap dish, that was another model that was definitely available for all users, anybody with a free account, and you were able to actually 3D print that when you were done with it. So you learn about the CAD, and then boom, you can move right into 3D printing. Kegel says a Voron 2.4 with the stealth changer modifications, a Voron switch wire, and an Ender 3 V3KE. Very nice. Very, very nice. That is awesome. So guys, if you see me on these podcasts, let me know, let the podcaster know, let the channel know. Just go to the channel, go to the Next Layer channel, click on that live stream, put a comment in there, put a like in there, let them know that it was a good time, that we were going through and having a good discussion there about 3D CAD. And then coming up, you're going to see me working with the guys from the CAD class, working with Jake and Josh, a couple of great guys, Fusion users who are also heavily into 3D printing and offer a lot of Fusion training solutions. So if you ever need Fusion training, that's something that you can definitely look to as a resource. And we're going to be talking a lot about the same topic, about 3D printing, 3D CAD, and kind of where we're going in the future. And then I'm also working with the guys from Team Pipeline, so I'm going to be on their podcast as well. And hopefully we'll see some of these guests come on our podcast or come on Model Monday Live. It's kind of like the closest thing we have to a podcast. But come on Model Monday Live with us and maybe do some live modeling for us. I'd love to see how some of these other creators do when they're under pressure, when they're under the pressure of creating some of these models against the clock. So be sure to check it out. Be sure to be on the lookout for those upcoming podcasts. If you see me put out the bat signal and say, hey, we're doing another podcast, be sure to visit it. Be sure to watch it live, share it with your friends, and put some comments and just kind of continue to stir up that social media algorithm to help get us more and more reach so that more and more people can find out about what we're doing over here. And so, we talked about things like 3D printing that hook. We 3D printed that hook a couple of weeks ago, and then we hung weight off of it to determine how much weight it could hold. I think it broke at 25 pounds. I got a new spool of filament, which is the CF, the PLA CF. It has a carbon fiber kind of hybrid merged into the PLA. So we're going to try and reprint this thing with that's PLA CF and see how it does and see if it makes any difference. First, I'm just going to print it with exactly the same settings and see if we can get above 25 pounds. And then after that, maybe we'll adjust some of the settings. I had a lot of good suggestions about what we could do with those settings to make it even stronger. So let's kind of continue having this discussion about this bracket and see what we can learn about 3D printing. And then as far as the world of training goes, we're actually training this week, so it's not too late. If you're looking to get some SolidWorks sheet metal fundamentals training, you can still sign up today. Contact Vicky at TooTallToby.com, and we would love to see you in that training class. It's 3 days, but they're only 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., so that way you can continue to work, continue to get your job done, and still get some really good value from a training class, training manual, certification, and of course, asking questions to me. Philippe in the chat says, first time here, I have a Bamboo X1C and a beginner with Onshape. Nice. Well, you are in the right place, my friend. That's what we're all about. Helping Onshape users learn 3D CAD so that they can do 3D printing. You hit all the check marks. So you're in exactly the right place. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for joining us. All right, guys. And again, for those of you that are SolidWorks users, I was a SolidWorks user for a long time. Got a lot of certifications. They're back here behind me. Well, actually, that one's my Onshape certification, but the rest of them are mainly SolidWorks certifications. And so I put together an online training class, self-paced training class to help you get through your certified SolidWorks professional exam. So if you want to utilize this resource, it's $150. It's at TooTallToby.com/training, and it will help you get everything you need to get through this certification and also other tips to get through other certifications if you are a SolidWorks user. Aaron C in the chat, co-signing on carbon fiber. PC is an absolutely fantastic filament if your printer can go up to 270 hot end and 100 degree bed. Sweet. Let's go. All right, guys, listen, I'm just going to run through this real quick. We've been doing a lot of updates on the Practice Models app. For those of you that are Practice Models premium users, it's $10 a month. And I just want you to know that if you're not a premium user, it's a great way to support what we're doing here at TooTallToby. And there are enhancements that are being made. Like we're trying to use that money to continue development. And of course, it costs money to do that. It costs money to make that happen. So some of the things we've been doing is in November, we added the try again function. So you do a model, you want to beat your previous time, boom, you click try again, you can beat your previous time. In December, we added some better analytics, some trend line tracking, some better analytics overall. And of course, these are just like the highlights. There's lots of other stuff we did in the background. In January last month, we added a filter, which is an absolute crowd favorite. We added filters for free models and also for completed models. And then we also added the community tutorials, still in beta. The community tutorials is still in beta, but we are seeing more and more people getting logged in and creating tutorials for these challenges so that no matter what CAD system you're using, there's going to be a tutorial in there waiting for you so that you can actually watch somebody else do it. Look how good I spelled this. Tutorials. And of course, coming soon, this month, February 22, we're updating the capability to do speed modeling leaderboards so you can run the model, post the video, and everybody can see how fast you are. And of course, I'm going to be in there posting my run, so you're going to have a chance to beat Toby, which I think a lot of people are looking forward to. You're going to be able to do multiple runs that are tracked per model. So a single model, you can do it multiple times and actually track every single time so you can see how much faster you're getting. And you can do the same model with different CAD systems. So you can see how fast do I do this with Onshape. All right, now how fast do I do it with SolidWorks? Wow, I'm actually faster with Onshape than I was in SolidWorks. That's awesome. I crossed over. All right, you hit that point of convergence. So that is what's all coming up this month, all stuff that we're working on in the background this month, February 2024. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, there's been plenty of other stuff we've been doing, like introducing 3D printable models and things like that too on the Practice Models app. I think probably the biggest one that people like when they're first getting into the website is the filters, just because it kind of helps them figure out what they could do. So the website is TooTallToby.com. If you haven't been there before, TooTallToby.com. You click here to get started. You log in with your free account, and then you can see here we've got a repository of over 100 and I think almost 150 models now, challenges, but most of these are for premium members only. When you sign up for premium, you get to unlock the premium members only. Well, what you could do here is you can say show filters, and then when you say show filters, you could say show free. And that way you could go through, we got about 20 free models here. You could do these 20 free challenges first, make sure that this all looks good, that this is something that you like and that you want to support. It'll probably only take you 1 or 2 models to realize like, oh yeah, this is definitely something we should be supporting. This is definitely something that we want to see grow. And then you can click here to sign up for premium membership. So the filters are awesome, the ability to filter for free. The other filter that was added during that update, during the filters update, was this one here, which I like a lot. The show completed only, show not completed only. So you can just click that one, and then at a glance, you can see what you still need to do in order to, to finish out that list. So it's like, okay, here's one I still need to do that's in that free list. Here's one I still need to do that's in that free list. So I really like that one. It really helps me make sure that I'm able to get through. And I saw Yup, That's Me said, I'm behind in my 3D CAD homework. Yeah, exactly. So that's definitely going to help you to make sure that you stay up to date on your 3D CAD homework. And it's just fun to know that you completed them all. All right, guys. So Practice Models Premium, sign up for it today. You get 143 models, a faster scoreboard, more filters, trend lines and analytics, community tutorials, fastest times table. We didn't even talk about the fastest times, but that's another really cool thing. You can see everybody's times. And I think that's pretty much it for that topic. Of course, I want to thank the guys who are working behind the scenes, none other than Bodie McBoatpants. Huge shout out to Bodie McBoatpants. And he has done so much. He's such a wizard in that web dev space. So thank you so much to Bodie. And also, huge shout out to Hooby3DFX. Some of you guys have seen him in the Discord. He's also working like a maniac in the background, making this stuff come to life. So huge thank you to the team who's really helping make this Practice Models Premium come to life. Guys, don't forget, Practice Models Premium's got a built-in clock, tiered level difficulty. I saw Aaron C. says he wants to see the first tier 14 part. We'll get there. Leaderboard, track your progress, and mobile friendly? Sure. And there's Discord link down below. Be sure to join us on the Discord. That's it for now. I want to make sure we have enough time for that Tier 6 model. I got to do that live solve Tier 6. I don't want to leave myself like 10 minutes to do that. Atsay in the chat says, hey guys, happy Monday. What is up, my friend? Thank you for joining us. And let's get into this first challenge here. This one's called TrainDriverRob. And this is part of a new promotion we started doing last year, which was if you join the YouTube channel, if you click join and you join at the level of buy me a cup of coffee, then you get a thank you from me. You get to support the channel. You get custom emojis, and you get a personal practice model. So TrainDriverRob signed up. He joined the membership option on the YouTube channel. And congratulations to TrainDriverRob, and thank you so much for that support, of course. And so we can see here the list of all the different users, starting with Rich Penn, and then we had Bob, Dom, Min Watex, Fully Defined, Aaron C, Victor K, PCR Duino, Yup, That's Me, Dan Frenzano, Blue Byte Systems, Ray R, Liam P. We got Rigo. Rigo's going to be in my training this week. Mesa Makes, SoFlo Rando, and now TrainDriverRob. So who is going to be next? Who's going to sign up for that membership next? We welcome one and all. And if you sign up, one of the perks is you get a custom Practice Models challenge created for you. So you'll forever be in the history of TooTallToby. So on that note, let's take a look here at this first challenge. And let's see who in the chat, who was the fastest in the chat? Who earns the point? So the first answer that came in from none other than Aaron C, 1037 pounds. Rambros Workshop, 1040. Ricardo Jean, 1037. Let's see what else we got in here. Rambros Workshop, refining to 1037. Ricardo Jean, 1037. Who else answered this one? Anybody else take this challenge on? It's kind of a tricky one. Oh, Paragene is in the chat. Welcome, old friend. 1037. Very nice, very nice. And did we get anybody else? That's it. Guys, the correct answer is 1037 pounds. This is a very tricky model, a tier 5 model. It's got 64ths, it's got fractions, it's an assembly, it's multi-material, it's multi-body. Congratulations to Aaron C. coming in with that answer correct. 1037 pounds is correct. Guys, he dominates the Model Monday Live leaderboard. Who's going to dethrone him? He's in here every week, putting his money where his mouth is. Congratulations to Aaron C. Let's put a GG in the chat for Aaron C. Wow, wow, wow. Fast, 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 fast. Congratulations, my friend. Aaron C says, nice to see that list keeps growing. Hashtag keep Toby unemployed. It's going to have to grow a little bit faster than that if that goal is going to be accomplished. But we'll see. We're gonna keep holding in there. This train don't stop. You are the best. Ricardo Jean says you are the best, Aaron C. I'll have to have 15 fingers to try to beat Aaron. Yeah, that's good. I like that. All right, guys, here we go. Every week we do 2 challenges here on Model Monday Live. So let's get into challenge number 2. This challenge comes from a little bit back in the day. Here we go. This challenge begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? This is one of the first parts we made to kind of combat the Ivan exploit, to thwart the Ivan exploit. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? Kind of a cool part. I like this part. Push plate. Kind of slide it in and lock it into place on an angle, and then it would probably hook onto some other component with those arrows. It looks kind of like an arrow. It's like a YouTube arrow that you would use on a thumbnail. Push plate. Grab a screen capture of this part. CMYK FPV is here. What is up, my friend? Congratulations. Welcome, welcome. Says, caught alive. What's up, y'all? What is up? Would the modelers ever get to share screen and show off their CAD skills live? Yeah, Kegel, exactly. That's exactly what we do in the tournaments. We have them share their screen live. In fact, I think I have a shot of that in the, here we go, right here. So it looks like this. So you can see here that on the left, we had Juiced. He was 20 using ANSYS Space Claim. And on the right, we had Victor K using SolidWorks at the time. Now he's an Onshape user. And he was a CSWE certified SolidWorks expert, SolidWorks champion. And these guys battled it out to try to create this part. And so you can see both people's screens and you can see them competing live. See who can complete that model the fastest. That's what our tournament is. That's what a true speed modeling head-to-head battle should look like. I don't know if there's ever a company out there that would maybe try to take that format. I'm sure there isn't. They probably wouldn't. There's probably not a company out there that would do something so devious, right? Probably not. All right, guys, good luck on this challenge, on the push plate challenge. Good luck on modeling up that part. And we are going to be teaching sheet metal this week. So don't forget, if you have if you've got an urgent need to do sheet metal, there's still time to sign up. You still have until tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. You can join us for sheet metal. We would love to get maybe 1 or 2 more students. We have enough room for 1 or 2 more students. No more than that, though. Maybe 3 more students. No more than that, though. So there's a real sense of urgency and exclusivity in this decision. All righty. And so good luck to all of you modeling up that push plate. I think that's a really fun part to model up. It's always fun here on Model Monday Live to be able to model against other users from around the world, live and in real time. But while you are working on that, I am going to create a model in Onshape live for all of you. And hopefully we'll share some pretty cool Onshape tips and tricks along the way. So the model that we're going to do is going to be this model here. This is called Tier 6 Receiver. And this model actually is in our practice models library. So I think instead of doing it here in the presentation, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my practice models library here, and we're going to do it right through this practice models library. So welcome everyone to this live solve, and we're going to get started here at TooTallToby.com. We're going to click Get Started. We're going to sign up with a free account. And once you sign up for a free account, you'll see that there's about 20 challenges in here that are free for everyone. And then if you really like the way this app works and you want to support the channel, you can sign up for what's called Practice Models Premium, which will let you unlock all of the remaining models here in these challenges. Well, one of these models that's totally free for everyone is this one here, 240606. This one's called Receiver. So I'm going to say click here to practice. And then what we can see is we can see here that for this model, there have been, looks like there's been about 313 people who have successfully completed this model. 313 people have completed this model. So we'll see if we can become 314. And this model is a swoopy, lofty type model. So let's get into it here. We're going to try and create this model. Looks like there's a couple of community tutorials down below here. So there may be somebody else who's already done this in your CAD system, which is kind of nice. If you get stuck, you could take a look. Looks like somebody did it in Iron CAD. Somebody did it in SolidWorks. And this one always gets tagged as free CAD, but it's not actually a free CAD. This is just a link to today's live stream. So we're going to be doing this here in Onshape. We're using our Onshape username, Nikola Tesla. Let's get into it here. Click here to begin and reveal drawing and go. So this model here, you can see it's a tier 6 model. And the question is, what is the mass of this part in XXX grams? And we're going to try and answer that and then put the answer down here. And then the app will tell us whether or not we got that answer correct. So even though the clock is already running, what I like to do before I get started is just take a minute and kind of come up with a game plan. And with a model like this is a tier 6 model. That game plan is going to require a little bit more experience than an average beginner might have. For example, when I look at a shape like this, when I look at this shape right here, this transition, to me, right away, what I think is that's probably going to be a loft. It's going from a revolved shape here, or a perfect cylinder here, up into this slotted shape. So the geometry is changing from a circle to a slot, and whenever the two profiles change from one shape to another, that's an indicator that you're going to be doing that with a loft. I'm also going to be thinking to myself, I probably want to control that loft with some type of a guide curve to make sure that it matches up with the customer spec. And we actually see that hint here on the drawing. It says hint, guide curve. So the drawing is actually kind of trying to help us out with some of these notes, but it's letting us know that we're going to be creating a loft in that region and that we're going to be creating this with a guide curve. Now, when we are beginners in 3D CAD, the first thing we ask ourselves is, where should the origin be located in this part? Well, that same game plan is going to apply here when we're advanced users. And I think in the case of this model, the origin is probably going to be located down here. The reason this might be a good location for the origin is just because there's a lot of dimensions that seem to be coming from that location. We've got our center line here coming from that location. I just think it makes a lot of sense to have the origin there because that's where most of the dimensions seem to be coming from. The next thing that we're going to ask ourselves as beginners is, what is our very first sketch going to look like? And I think that same technique or that same strategy applies here as an advanced user. Our first sketch is going to look something like this. We're going to come in here from the side view and create a sketch like this, and then maybe we'll mirror that sketch over to this side, and that way we can use that geometry as a layout for all of our future features. So for example, maybe that's our first sketch and then we exit the sketch, and then our second sketch, we trace over some of this geometry here, and then we could revolve that shape. And if we trace over that geometry and we revolve that shape, well, that's going to give us this whole lower section of the model. It's going to give us everything we need down here. So that lower section will be pretty much done, aside from this little boss that's sticking out the side here. Then maybe for our second sketch, we could create this slot shape up top, and then we could extrude that down to this location down here. So now we've got the bottom of the model, we've got the top of the model all put together. Now all we got to do is create that loft. And because we created this original sketch here that's shown in blue, when we go to create that loft, we can say this is a guide curve and this is a guide curve. So kind of planning out your model a little bit ahead of time can really pay off, because you can actually get in there and create some type of layout geometry to begin with. So now that we've got all that, fundamental geometry in place, what do? We'd probably come in here and create what's called a shell. That way we can hollow this thing out. Maybe we'll do a move face because this wall here is a little bit thicker. We'll create a couple of boss extrudes here and a couple of cut extrudes to put the holes in. And then we'll finish off by attacking this region here on the side of the model. So even though that took me a couple of minutes, looks like 3.5 minutes to come up with that game plan, now I know what I'm going to be doing when I actually get into the model. And for me, that ends up actually saving me time, not only when you're doing these speed modeling challenges, but especially in the real world. When you're in the real world and somebody gives you a 2D print or a napkin sketch, it's really important that you kind of think through the modeling process and that you understand what that model is going to look like before you actually get into CAD and start modeling it. And so you just practice. You start out with those tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 models, and you practice these same steps, and then you see if you can apply those steps when you get up to a higher model like this tier 6 model. So let's get a drink of water. And guys, if you like that method of kind of planning out your model before you get started, if that helps this all make sense, then be sure to hit the like button on this video. And we're going to move this print over onto our second screen. Let's bring up our keyboard cam so that you can see any of the keyboard shortcuts I'm using here in Onshape. And I am using my free seat of Onshape, and I'm going to choose to create a new document in the public space. And so what this means is if you ever want to sign up for a free account of Onshape, you can search the public space for 24-06-06 space receiver, and then you can find this model and you can actually poke through the feature tree that I'm going to be creating in this live solve. It's one of the really cool things about Onshape is just how easy it is to share data and to share, learning information like what the feature tree looks like. So now we're going to get into our game plan. The first thing we're going to do, go to this hamburger menu, workspace units, make sure that we're working in millimeters, make sure that we're working in grams. That's because that's the information that's called out in the title block of this drawing. If we look at the title block of this drawing, we can see that we're working in mmgs, which means millimeters and grams. So in Onshape, what do? We go up here to this hamburger menu and make sure that we're working in the correct workspace units. Looks like we are. So now we're ready to go to the front plane and start implementing our plan. S key, begin a new sketch. N key to get normal 2. S key, I'm going to create a line here. This line's going to come over about 40 millimeters. Come over here about 40 millimeters. Single click. We're going to bring a line up here. This one, when we left click, we are going to type in the dimension. So this one is going to come up to 62 millimeters. Enter. We're going to come in here kind of at an angle. Single click. Looks like this is actually about 45 degrees. So single click. Come up here with a straight line. Single click. Here what I'm going to do is just kind of pan the view down like so. We're going to come out here at more of a 30-degree angle. Single click. We're going to come straight up like so, single click, and then we'll come over to the middle, single click, and then we're going to come straight down and we're going to press Q, which turns that into construction. And then we'll single click down here on the origin. So my advice to you would be to make your first sketch look something like this to begin with, and then press escape or get out of any commands, and then window around this whole thing and press the sketch mirror command in Onshape. Mirror that thing across, and then start going through and adding your remaining dimensions. So S key dimension, we're going to create a dimension here for this diameter. It's going to be 80 millimeters diameter. We're going to create a dimension here that goes from this baseline up to this point. That looks like it's going to be 100 millimeters. We're going to create a dimension from this baseline up to this upper line here. That one's going to be 182. We're going to create a dimension that goes from this line to this line for that diameter in the middle. That one's going to be 55. We're going to create a dimension for an angle here. So from this lower line here to this angled line here is going to be 45. And we're going to create a dimension that goes from this lower line here to this line here. That dimension is going to be 30. In this case, I'm making it symmetric. That is a little trick that I didn't talk about in my game plan, but all the dimensions on one side seem to match all the dimensions on the other side. It's revolved at the bottom, so I think it's fair to say that this section of the model is symmetric, and you can verify that by just looking at the dimensions on the print. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a final dimension here just across the top. This dimension is shown in the very top view as 200. It's a reference dimension in the drawing, but that means we could still use it to help define this geometry here in our layout. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit this sketch. I'm going to click on the sketch over here in the tree, and I'm going to press Shift-N, and I'm going to call this Master Layout. And that way I know that I'm just kind of using this sketch to help lay out all my future features, but I'm not gonna actually use this sketch to generate those features. So I'm gonna create an additional sketch here on the front plane. Now, some people might say, why would you do that? Why not just use the master layout for everything? And for me, it's just a matter of keeping my sketches simple and keeping my features discrete. So I'm gonna go front plane, begin a sketch, so S key, begin a sketch, and then I'm gonna go into the line command, so S key line, click the origin, click this point, click this point, click this point, click this point, come over here to above the origin, and then come all the way down, and boom, there's the geometry for my first solid feature, which is gonna be a revolve. So I come up here to the toolbar and I click revolve, and now I'm gonna click here where it says revolve axis. You gotta click into this box here to choose revolve axis. So we click here in this box, and then I'll just choose this axis here, and there is my first feature, my first nice solid feature. I'm gonna go back to the tree and show that master layout, and then I'm gonna pick this plane here and this point. So all I'm doing is left click, left click. So let me show you that again. I'm gonna press the space bar to clear my selections. Remember, space bar clears your selections in Onshape. So all I'm doing is picking this plane and this point. And then if I click the plane command up here, Onshape automatically makes a new plane offset at that location. So I can just hit the green check mark, and boom, I've got a sketch plane for that upper slot shape. So pick that sketch plane, S key, begin a sketch, N key to get normal to, and now what I can do is I can create a line. This line could go from here to here, just kind of like an arbitrary distance at this point. Hit escape. I can click on that line, so click on that line, and then I can choose from the flyout menu here underneath offset, the slot command. And the slot command here is going to have a distance of, double click on that, 80. So we go 80 here, you can, or sorry, 70. You can see that in the top view, 70, and then you press enter, and then you just press enter one more time. Remember to press enter that second time when you're making slots. It's easy to accidentally jump out of that. So now you can see here that we've got that slot running across. And now the question is, how do we fully define this slot? And my answer to that is I really want to define it relative to my original master layout. So I'm going to use a pierce constraint. And here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to create a point and just drop it on this arc here. You can just kind of drop it anywhere, and create a point and drop it on this arc here. You can just kind of drop it anywhere because the center of the arc is already locked to the center of the model from when I made that line. So all I need to do now is just engage this point and this vertical line here. And how are we going to do that? We're going to do that with a pierce constraint. So we're going to pick on this line here. We're going to pick on this point, and we're going to tell Onshape that we want to move this point to wherever that line is passing through the sketch plane. And the way we do that is with the pierce constraint. So we say pierce, and look at that. Now that arc is nice and black, nice and fully constrained. And so we're going to do the same thing over here on this side. We're going to say that we want to take this line, this point. So all I'm doing is left click, left click. You can see there's two things selected on my cursor. And now I'm going to tell Onshape I want to take this point and move it to wherever this line is passing through the sketch plane. So we do that using the pierce constraint. Pierce, and oh yeah, that sketch is nice and fully constrained. That's always what we want when we're creating sketch geometry. We always want it to be fully constrained. So now we can choose the command extrude, and this extrusion is going to go up to vertex, and we just pick on this point here, and boom, we are done with that extrusion. So now we've successfully completed that lower section and that upper section. And the nice thing is when you work in multi-body like this, it's really easy to bridge that geometry using what's called a loft. So we don't have to make any new sketches or anything. We just click loft, and we say we want this loft to go from this profile to this profile. Now, by default, that loft is going to end up twisting a little bit. You can kind of see it in this region here, especially if you watch it while I'm rotating the view. You can kind of see it's starting to twist a little bit there. And so what we can do is we can resolve that by going into guides and continuity, and then clicking guides here, and then we could click this line from our master layout and this line from our master layout. And now when we roll that view around, we no longer see that twisting. If you watch in this area here, you no longer see that twisting. It's a lot more consistent because we've applied those guide curves. And we were able to apply them right from the master layout. So having that master layout really has paid off. The final thing we're going to do here is we're going to say that we want this loft to be add. We don't want to make a new part here. We want to actually merge these parts together. And we'll just hit this check mark here that says merge with all. So we say merge with all, and Yes, that is looking pretty good. We hit the green check mark, and there is that loft. I think we're pretty much done with that master layout sketch at this point, so I'm going to just hide that master layout sketch. And here's something that I really like to do in Onshape. I'm going to right mouse button on the front plane, and from the right mouse button, I'm going to choose Section View. And so that way I'm looking right through the inside of this part, and we can see that currently this part is solid. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the view around to the bottom here, and I'm going to say I want to apply a shell, and I want that shell to use a wall thickness of 3 millimeters, 3 millimeters for the shell. And then for faces to remove, I'll choose this underside face here. And look at that, we're hollowing out the entire inside. That is exactly what we want. So we hit the green check mark, and there we go. Now, one thing I mentioned in the game plan is that this face here is not 3. All the other faces are 3, but this face here is 6. So we can see 6, 6, 6, 6 wall thickness on that top surface. So, okay, no problem. We can account for that. How are we going to do that? We're going to do that using the command move face, one of my favorite commands in Onshape. So we click up here where it says move face, and then we can choose this face here. And there you can see Onshape's giving us a preview showing that that inside face is getting thickened down. So we're going to thicken that down by 3 additional millimeters, and look at that. There we go. Now we got that nice 6 millimeters for that upper face. Now, the next thing that Onshape is going to have us do is create some geometry for our, yeah, I see Aaron C in the chat says, oh yeah, move face. Yeah, that's what we like. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use Onshape, and we're going to create some geometry for our holes that are in this top part of the model. So I'll pick this face here, S key, begin a sketch, N key to get normal to, S key to begin a circle. And then I'm just going to kind of hold my mouse over this edge here and then move to the middle. See if we can get the middle of that edge. There we go. That looks good. Single click, move your mouse, single click, let go of your mouse. 55, enter. Single click, move your mouse, single click, let go of your mouse. We're going to make that inside hole there. 35, enter. And then we're going to choose to create a line here, and we'll make that line Q for construction. And then just like we did earlier, we could pick this arc, and this line, and then choose the mirror command and mirror that right across. So that takes care of the 2 that are on the outside, and now all we need to do is get this one on the inside. So we begin the circle command, S key circle, single click here right at the origin, single click, let go of your mouse. That diameter is going to be 45, and then single click, move your mouse, single click. That diameter is going to be 25. And so now we've got that geometry looking pretty good. It looks like that all comes down to a depth of 10 millimeters. So S key extrude, and we'll make that 10, and we can reverse the direction and hit the green check mark. Yes, that looks very much like what we're seeing in that section view. The one thing that we're missing is that these are supposed to be holes. So what we could do is pick this face, pick this face, and pick this face. And then we can choose the extrude command. So we don't have to create a sketch or anything. We can just jump right into the extrude command, and we can say we want that to be a remove. Look at that. Even in the preview, you can see that's what we want. Let's make that through all and hit the green check mark. And oh yeah, that is looking good. So I really like how in Onshape you can just continue to work in this section view to make sure that the model looks the same as what the customer is asking us to do. So one last feature here, this little, really 2 last features, this little tab on the side here with the hole in it. So we're going to right mouse button on the right plane, and then we could choose offset plane, and then we can offset that to that distance of, what is that called out as? 53 millimeters. Now, again, you might get the question, why not just create the sketch on the right plane, and then when you extrude it, do the offset? You could definitely do that. This is just something I like to do. I might rename this. I might call this start plane for lower inlet, something like that. And that way, as soon as I look at the feature tree, I can tell what that plane is being used for. It just makes it a little easier to decipher the feature tree later for you and also for your coworkers. So making additional features to make it easier to read the tree, A-okay in my book. It's not a challenge to see what's the least number of features. It's a challenge to see how easily can your coworkers decipher your work. So I'm going to pick this face here, S key, begin a sketch, N key to get normal to, S key to make a circle. We'll put a circle here directly above the origin. That circle is going to have a diameter of, what is the diameter on that thing? 40. S key, dimension, put a dimension here from the base to that center of that diameter, 25. And we may as well just sketch the hole in there as well on the same command here. Actually, you know what? I'll save that for the next feature. So S key extrude, and we'll go up to part, and we'll pick the part here. And let's reverse the direction. There we go. And that is going to be an add. And yes, that looks good. And then finally, this face here, S key, sketch, S key, circle. Go right to the center of that circle, that existing circle. 20 for the diameter of that hole. S key, extrude. This one is going to be a remove, and we're going to say this one can just go up to next. Up to next. And there we go. That is looking very close to what we're seeing in the section view. I'd say it's looking dead on exactly like what we're seeing in the section view. So I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with that final spin. I'll press the letter P to hide all my planes. I'll do a right mouse button and say turn off section view. And then I'm going to go down here to the name of the part, right mouse button, edit appearance. Let's make this look a little bit closer to what the customer was asking for. Looks almost like an aqua blue, maybe somewhere in here. Yeah, that's pretty close. I like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to right mouse button on the name of the part there, and we're going to say assign material. And that material is going to come from the TTT custom library, and it's going to be ABS. So we hit the green check mark. We click here on the scales down here in the corner. Display the mass properties. We click on this part here, and we are coming up with a mass of 265.8 grams. So let's go over here to the app. Looks like that took us about 20 minutes. 265.8 and enter. And oh yeah, congratulations. This answer is correct. Yo, let's go. So upon submission, you will be awarded 1 point on the community scoreboard. That is what I like to see. So we're going to say submit here. And there we go. We did it. And now we can see that 314 people have completed this model. And we can see down below here that it looks like the average time was 16 minutes and 55 seconds. My time for this model was 19 minutes and 34 seconds. So it took me just a little bit longer than the average time. So maybe I'd want to go back and try again and see if I can get that done a little bit faster. But I hope that you enjoyed that tutorial. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to let me know down in the comments down below if you have any questions or if you learned anything cool from this video. And with that, let's get back into our Model Monday live presentation. FPV Kev says, good job, TTT. Awesome live solve. Thank you. Thank you very much. Rambros says, GG, TooTallToby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Yes, indeed. All right, and the correct answer for that one was 265, and it's plus or minus 2 grams. So I was 265.8. Looks like I was within tolerance on that part. And that's going to wind us down to the end of today's live stream, but we got to find out who got the answer correct for model number 2. Don't forget, before you leave, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to share and reshare with your friends and coworkers. And be sure to sign up for training. We got training tomorrow. All right. And the answer for model number 2 is, let's see here. What did we get in the chat? Rambros Workshop 793, Aaron C 793, Otse 798, Otse revising to 793, AMO Alex 793, Lucas, I like this 827.5, Klaus coming in 793, we like that. Lucas revising, you can revise as many times as you need. Paragene 793, Lucas 793, didn't see the rib fillet. Oh, yes, that could be a rough one. Jim U 793, Jonathan Clips 793, very nice, very nice. Guys, the correct answer for this model is 793 grams, and we got somebody who beat Aaron C. Congratulations, everyone. We did it. Sorry, Aaron C. It looks like it is Rambros Workshop coming in with the correct answer, 793, the world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling. Very nicely done, my friends, and congratulations. Really, congratulations to everybody. These are not easy models. If you're able to get through these models in this short period of time, it is impressive. Wow, wow, wow. Aaron C says, oh, already almost had February lockdown. So close. Right at the finish line. Good job, Rambros. GG to Rambros. Guys, put a GG in the chat for Rambros. Congratulations. But like I said, congratulations to anybody who was able to finish this model in that short period of time. These are not easy models. GG to our winners. Thank you so much to you, the amazing chat. This is such a fun way to start the week. And don't forget to sign up for Practice Models Premium. It's an awesome way to support the channel. Join the YouTube channel, take training with Toby. And next week is March 3rd. We're going into a new month. So be sure to look at the Model Monday Live leaderboard. Be sure to sign up for the Practice Models app. Be sure to take training with Toby. And of course, be sure to like and comment on all the videos we put out all week. We try to put out a lot of content throughout the week. But overall, I just want to say thank you all so much. This is such a fun way to start the week. It's such a cool event to be able to do CAD versus CAD. You know, there may be other places out there that try to do CAD versus CAD, but there's only one true OG location. And of course, we get to do it every week. So I thank you guys so much for joining us for this CAD vs. CAD speed modeling event on this Monday. The only CAD vs. CAD speed modeling event you need to be a part of on this Monday. And I will look forward to seeing everybody next week. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. Hope you have a great rest of your week. And I will look forward to seeing everybody in all the videos and all the comments, maybe even in a surprise live stream this week. And I'll look forward to seeing everybody next week on Model Monday Live. See you, everybody.